Did you know that 1 in 3 Australians will be diagnosed with hypertension or high blood pressure, and that 1 in 10 are on blood pressure medications, and it affects more men than women? So you're not alone if you suffer from high blood pressure. What many don't know is that it's a condition that can be reversed or reduced by reducing our risk factors, and this can be done naturally through many of our lifestyle choices. I'm nutritionist and naturopath Sheridan Genrich, and I want to congratulate you on joining us for this program. As they say, knowledge is power, and if you're joining us for the first time, I'm so excited to have you here. So for this month's nutrition topic, we're talking about lowering blood pressure. But please bear in mind, this information is purely educational for the group as a whole and is not designed to replace the needs of your primary healthcare professional. By far and away, the most influential lifestyle choice as it relates to our overall health and the control we make in our lives are around our food choices. Certain risk factors make someone more likely to suffer from hypertension or high blood pressure. These risk factors include smoking, so tobacco use, in excessive alcohol consumption, lack of exercise. Certain medications like sleeping tablets will definitely increase blood pressure. Poor diet, obesity, inflammatory conditions in the body like chronic inflammation, and environmental stresses. So aside from the top 4 choices on that list, what you eat and drink has the biggest impact on all the other risk factors. But many imagine that lowering a blood pressure kind of diet would be bland, unseasoned foods and involve deprivation. But that couldn't be further from the truth. Although reducing your sodium intake is an important step in lowering your blood pressure, what you add to your diet is just as important as what you take out. These effects can be seen in both systolic blood pressure, that's when the heart contracts, and diastolic blood pressure is when your heart relaxes, or it might just have an effect in one action alone. So here are 7 great foods for naturally bringing down blood pressure. At number 1, we have oats. And this in this category fits with barley as well. They're both a rich source of soluble fiber called beta-glucan. Now this is a special polysaccharide, that's just a plant sugar name, found in the cell walls of these particular plants. Beta-glucan is also anti-inflammatory, blood sugar lowering effect, and can have an effect on lowering the bad cholesterol as well. Studies have shown that after eating 1 cup of oats along with a low sodium diet for at least 4 weeks, significantly lowered blood pressure in many obese people. Number 2, for lowering blood pressure foods, we have beetroot. Beetroot is naturally rich in nitrates, and these ease blood pressure. Now, if you look at the color of a beetroot, you'll see that it very similar to the color of blood. And this fits well with a sign from nature that us as naturopaths call the doctrine of signatures. And so if something in nature looks like it's close to something that's beneficial from the body, walnut's another one, good for the brain, it looks like a brain. So we see that beetroot is good for blood and it fits in that category as well. For research studies, there was a 2013 Australian study done on beetroot juice and its effects on lowering blood pressure in healthy men and women. Now the participants drank either apple and beetroot juice as a mix or plain apple juice alone, and they had their blood pressure monitored for about 24 hours. The results were that the researchers observed a lowering of the systolic blood pressure 6 hours after the participants drank the beetroot juice, and this effect was especially notable among men. Number 3, we have flax seeds. Consuming flax seeds in a variety of foods was linked to a reduction in overall blood pressure over 6 months in people with hypertension, according to a 2013 study published in Hypertension journal. Even when the study participants took their blood pressure lowering medication, they also experienced a benefit from the flax seeds. It's thought that this reduction could be from a benefit from either one or all of the 4 compounds in flax seeds, such as alpha-linolenic acid, the ligans, peptides, and fiber. And don't forget, you can grind flax seeds down into a powder or meal, and this can be done through the high-speed blender or even a coffee grinder. So don't worry if you have sensitive bowel issues and you can't take seeds. Grinding that flaxseed down, or any type of seed, will fix that concern, and you'll get the benefits. At number 4, we have olive oil. A 2012 study published in an American Journal of Hypertension looked at how olive oil might affect the blood pressure of young women with mild high blood pressure. So the study done in Spain compared the diet of a polyphenol-rich olive oil diet to one that didn't contain any polyphenols, and looked at their effect over 4 months. So the results were that the polyphenol-rich olive oil was linked to an overall reduction in blood pressure, and this effect was especially notable among women with higher blood pressure to start with. Polyphenols, just not to confuse you, are a major class of bioactive plant chemicals. That means that they work really well in the body to protect against heart and vascular or blood disease. At number 5, we have fatty fish like salmon. And a European journal published called Nutrition, it's a journal called Nutrition, a study found that they looked at the impact of fish on diastolic blood pressure among overweight and obese men, obese people in general actually, and they were already on a weight loss diet. So eating fatty fish such as salmon, but not the leaner fish like cod, 3 times a week was linked to a reduction in that diastolic blood pressure over the 8 weeks. The researchers found that many previous studies, when they looked at the overall research that had been done, found that also all these omega-3 fatty acids were naturally lower in fish, and all the omega-3s had an effect on lowering blood pressure. At number 6, we have a good one, dark chocolate. So consuming dark chocolate or cacao products, they're all rich in flavonols, and they link to some reduction in blood pressure among people with hypertension or pre-hypertension. This was found in a study in 2010, and it was a review, so they looked at several studies. And so we're looking at the polyphenols, which are called flavonols. Polyphenols is just a name for a plant chemical. And the cacao products, fruits and vegetables are all associated with forming nitric acid, which is a substance that actually widens the blood vessels and allows the blood to move through more easily. And that's how it lowers blood pressure. So to satisfy your chocolate craving and lower your blood pressure at the same time, you do have to go for the real thing. So cacao or cocoa products in their natural unsweetened state have the highest concentration of flavonoids of any chocolate product, followed by unsweetened baking chocolate. Cacao powder is also lower in sugar, fat, and calories than your regular solid chocolate bars. So just experiment a little, and you might be able to get some delicious recipes or foods going. And last but not least, we have number 7, avocado. So to bring your blood pressure down, you need to not only lower the salt intake or sodium intake, but at the same time increase the potassium intake as well, because potassium offsets the harmful effects of sodium. And luckily, avocados are at least 400. They have about 450 milligrams of this important mineral. So this delivers a variety of other heart-healthy vitamins, minerals, phytonutrients, and monosaturated fat as well. Potassium is also a natural diuretic, so that means that the more you eat, the more sodium and water you'll excrete in your urine as well. And finally, I have some other tips for you. So the easiest way to cut back on sodium intake in your diet is to reduce or even eliminate completely those processed foods with hidden sodium. This includes sauces, soups, canned vegetables like corn, beetroot, pineapple, and the seasoned blends that you put with herbs and spices. Some of them have got salt added in them as well. And replace those things with other herbs that don't have the added salt, and you could use basil or oregano, and spices like cinnamon or vanilla to flavor foods instead. If you want to add salt for flavor, well, the best kind of salt to add is actually Celtic or Himalayan pink salt. These are found in supermarkets, and contrary to popular understanding, adding mineral-rich salt is actually beneficial from your body. It's very different to adding what is white salt. Regular salt is sodium chloride. It has no minerals in it at all. So if you add these beneficial minerals, your salt cravings are gone, and also you're adding actually better things into your body at the same time. So have a look in the supermarket for those. Around 1 to 2 teaspoons, no more than that, a day can be beneficial for many, many people, including those with high blood pressure. So lastly, don't forget that an abundance of vegetables in the diet, especially greens, are naturally rich in potassium, and this will help lower that sodium content as well. So you can't have too many of those, really. Until next time, that's all we have for today. So thank you so much for listening, and in the meantime, be well.